In order for me to live comfortable, I need the number one spot. That's what I want. I want the house in the back on the lake with the motherfucking jet skis and the basketball court and the never-ending pool. I want the driver picking me the fuck up.
Yeah.
I want the bitch that says, yo, you okay? You need your balls washed? I want all that.
Alcohol, right?
Now, throughout the past couple of postseasons, we've seen people question, does SGA have a proper wingman with Jalen Williams? And in this postseason, we're seeing a lot of that noise is beginning to come to rest, as he deals with a lot of ball pressure, just bringing the ball up the court. And he was able to fight through a lot of that ball pressure to keep him within the framework of this game. You see, the Pacers, they know the fact that they're at home, that this is their opportunity to completely dominate this series, to get control of it and go up 3-1. They smell that blood in the water. And the way they just locked in on SGA, you see J-Dub, he's utilizing any open opportunities he can. He was real aggressive. In this game, it was real physical. As you can see here with the schedule pulled up, in between games 3 and 4, there was only a 1-day turnaround. And the Pacers being up 2-1, having the next game at home, they understood the blood was definitely in the water. They could smell it, and this was their opportunity to take full control of this series. The Thunder at home are definitely a problem, and it's a high probability that the next time around for them to actually have a chance to gain control is the last opportunity, which is a game 7, in order to win the whole series. You can see exactly from how the schedule is lined up. So with the Sharks circling around the water, you see why it was important for J-Dub to be real assertive, keep the turnovers low, and just his aggressiveness was really clutch in this match. This was a big time performance from a co-star. He was making some real tough shots, being real aggressive. And keep in mind, this is fighting through the dynamics of just the team having so many turnovers. Alex Caruso really being the only spark outside of their main scorers, and also SGA dealing with a lot of blitzes. So now let's look at how the Pacers dealt with SGA and some of that ball pressure. As he attacks right here going downhill, look at Pascal. He's going to completely ignore Dort. See, they're willing to take this risk. It leads to another turnover. This is sort of the issue that the Thunder kind of face when their role players are not shooting as hot. You know, they don't have like a deep roster of just guys that are going to come in and shoot the lights out. So now the Pacers could begin to back off of certain players. Now the Thunder try to get SGA involved in some off-ball actions right here. Try to get him free. But you're going to see the conundrum of their shooters not being as hot. See, remember, Dort is cold. You got Caruso right here. He's kind of catching on fire at this point. And then Hartenstein. This is why they want to go small. See, when their shooters are not really knocking down shots and then you have your bigs out there, it starts to create an issue. Now, Pascal, he's backed off of Dort. Now, he's going to signal to Turner to blitz because Hartenstein is not a threat. Seen Pascal signal? Again, Nembhard off this inbound. Look how hard he presses on SGA. See, Miles Turner tries to meet SGA at the line right here. I'm surprised he didn't apply a little bit more pressure. See, Nembhard gets a hand on that. And the refs bail out SGA with a foul, but they're making him work hard for every little thing. Again, look how hard they're making SGA work just to bring the ball up. Just to get this pass off too. But he was still A1 with his decision making. Is that OKC just couldn't hit any open shots. But this was definitely an MVP performance, not for the 35 points that he got in this game, but for the fact that he faced all this ball pressure. He still kept his turnovers low with only 2. And he most importantly played a lot of defense, especially in the third and fourth quarters. This allowed the Thunder to stay in the game, even though they still was overcoming the adversity of just having 16 turnovers in the first half. By the end of each quarter, they were still only down single digits. That's what makes this NBA Finals very unique. Both these teams have so many different counter punches. And a lot of the jabs that they're throwing, it just goes unnoticed. But by the time you get to the 12th round of the boxing match, one guy tends to look more winded than the other. And the same thing is playing out in these fourth quarters. In game 1, OKC looked like they were being backed into a corner by the Indiana Pacers. And in game 4, the Thunder completely backed down the Pacers into a corner, in which they only finished with 17 points in that fourth. Once again, SGA's real MVP performance was dropping his 35 points, keeping his turnovers low, and most importantly, being just as good on the defensive end.